Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. My name's Emma and I help people to heal from chronic dizziness such as PPPD. If you're new here, don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you can see more videos that can help you to heal from dizziness. And if you like the video, please like it because it will help it to reach more people. So in this video today, I want to share with you a little technique that I've discovered myself that's really good, really powerful way of helping to alleviate anxiety. So the video today is really more towards coping with your symptoms and coping with the anxiety that a lot of people experience with a chronic dizziness issue. I know that especially with PPPD, and I myself had this as well, it's really common to have anxiety either before or as a result of a dizziness issue. And ultimately, the more that you can gain control over your symptoms, the more that you can manage them. I just find that everything else just becomes a lot easier. And I know that it can be scary sometimes to go out and do things and go places and be able to take your symptoms with you, because you might not really feel very safe, or you might not know what's going to happen. It might be that you're scared of the dizziness, or the anxiety is uncomfortable and it stopped you from doing things. And ultimately, if you can gain control and manage your symptoms, then everything else just gets that much easier, which is why I think it's really important to learn ways to cope. So this little technique that I've learned and I've discovered myself, I haven't seen this anywhere else online, and I kind of stumbled across it by mistake. So if you've seen any of my other videos, I talk a lot about sitting and feeling the emotions and the dizziness that you're experiencing, and distraction tools and things, they can be effective, but we really want to try and get to the root cause of what's going on and to actually deal with it from what we're actually experiencing in the body. So that means we have to be present with it, we have to be mindful, and when we do that, it actually allows our body and our brain the time and space that it needs to correct whatever that we're feeling. So anxiety is essentially, it's trapped energy, it's trapped emotion, and that can often be triggered by certain thoughts that we think, which is why if we need to go somewhere, it can trigger anxiety because we've had negative experiences there in the past, for example. So this little technique is essentially, it's kind of based on the EFT tapping. If that's something you're familiar with, the emotional freedom technique, tapping, you have different tapping points that you can use as coping tools, which again is a mindfulness practice. So this one that I discovered, I was actually sat dealing with some anxiety. I was just sat quietly in a room, just feeling the symptoms, feeling the anxiety, describing it. And I felt this need to just tap on my chest. I felt like there was a blockage there. And as I started to tap, I found that the anxiety just kind of disappeared and went away. And I wasn't sure if that was just a coincidence or the timing of it was just good timing. So I've tried this again and again since, and it's been really effective. And anxiety now, it will just disappear within 30 seconds to a minute of me doing this. And I've actually shared this with my clients as well, and I've had really good feedback, really good results from this really simple technique. It's not a long list of instructions. You can do this anywhere, which is really good if you're out and about, you're in work, or you're in a certain place that triggers your symptoms and you just need to learn to manage it. So there's an EFT tapping point. They're called meridians and energy centers, and the one we're going to use is the one in our chest, and that's predominantly because people that experience anxiety often feel very symptomatic in the upper regions of their chest, in their throat. Maybe it's heart palpitations, tightness, they could feel hot. You might just feel jittery and uncomfortable. However anxiety feels for you is, it's real for you and whatever you're experiencing. So if you take the little centerpiece of your neck here, and then if you move across about an inch and then down, you can do that on both sides. These are your two, they're called meridians. These are where your two energy centers are. So it's really simple. All you do is you can just, take two fingers or your knuckles or whatever you want to do, and you can just gently tap on the tapping point there. So as you can see, from the middle down and across about 1 inch either side, and you just gently tap on your chest. And it's important that when you do this, you're actually being mindful with what you're feeling, and you're being present with it. So a really good way to do that is to describe what you're feeling to yourself. That's a good way to keep you in the present moment. So you might say something like, I'm feeling some tightness in my chest, I feel it around my heart, I'm feeling anxious, I'm feeling quite hot. You can describe where it is. So you don't have to stick to one specific tapping point. As long as you're tapping in that area, you're gonna catch that energy center. So you can tap all the way across your chest if you like. You can tap anywhere where you're feeling the anxiety. Just make sure that you're hitting and catching these energy centers, these tapping points. And what that will actually do is it will allow you to release the blockages and to allow the energy to flow through you, allow the emotion to flow through you. So energy and our emotions is what can get trapped, that can cause us to feel this stress and this anxiety and these uncomfortable sensations in the body. So remember that emotions are just energy in motion. So when we're feeling the trapped emotion, that is when we can experience the anxiety. So by gently tapping on these areas is what can actually help to release that. So you can close your eyes as well if you feel like that really helps you to feel into your body and feel what you're experiencing. You can describe it or just sit and feel it. And if you've been practicing mindfulness for a while now, then you'll probably find it a bit easier to do. So if you're new to mindfulness, keep practicing it, which is why describing it is a really good way to keep you in the present moment. So it's a really simple, really easy technique. And, even though the dizziness for me now is so much better, I do still get anxiety from time to time, and that's perfectly normal, and I'm okay with that. And it's because I spent a good couple of years just feeling anxious all the time. I was scared of the dizziness, scared of what I was feeling in my body, and these old neural pathways, as I like to call them, they crop up now and again if I need to go somewhere. Sometimes I'll get a little trigger or a little spike in anxiety, so I can just sit down, feel the anxiety, gently tap on these little tapping points, and the anxiety can go sometimes in 20 to 30 seconds. And the effects of this they're long lasting. It's not a temporary or a quick fix. I can go about the rest of my day. The anxiety, it doesn't return, it doesn't come back. And it's been truly amazing, and it's something that I really wanted to share with you guys. Like I said, I've shared it with some of my clients who have had really good results from this as well. And ultimately, I think that it's good to have options in terms of how we cope with anxiety. It's not something that you need to put up with. It's not something that you need to carry around with you day by day. And I know that people can resort to medication, and I know that that works for some people, and I'd never judge anyone for taking medication. But typical Western medicine, they like to just give us tablets to take, but that's not going to get to the root cause, and that's not going to make it go away long term. So I want you guys to have options in terms of how you manage your symptoms. There's no side effects from sitting and tapping on your energy centers, on these tapping points. It's not expensive prescriptions. It's not, it's not something that you need to feel like you're going to have to take something for the rest of your life. So it's really good to be able to just have these little tools and techniques that you can do anywhere, and you can just practice them, and in time you'll just find that you can really start to calm yourself down, calm your symptoms down a lot quicker. And it, like I said, it is lasting effects. I can use this technique now and I can return to feeling absolutely normal. The anxiety is completely gone. And when you're dealing with a dizziness problem, if you've got PPPD, you're feeling dizzy all the time, having the anxiety as well is just, it's like a double whammy. It's just something else to have to deal with. So being able to manage your symptoms, like I said, It's a really, really helpful, really useful way to cope. You can then go about your daily business. You can feel more confident going into certain places, knowing that you don't have to take the anxiety with you. And life just gets a bit more manageable and a bit more easy. And in time, that's when you'll start to feel that you can do more. You start to be able to resume the activities you once thought that you couldn't do because maybe the anxiety was stopping you from doing that. It was standing in your way. Maybe that the anxiety and the dizziness was just so overwhelming that you couldn't cope with it. So finding ways to cope is just really powerful and really key. So I hope you find it as useful as what I have found it. I'd love to know how you get on. As usual, if you've got any comments, guys, please feel free to reach out and get in touch. But thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.